Hey guys, it's Fairy Truths, and I know my last video I was talking about how I was sick and I'm feeling a lot better, so thank you for all your nice comments. And today I'm going to be doing the Q&A that I promised you guys, but I did write down all of these questions on the 17th, which was quite a little bit ago, like maybe less than a week ago, maybe a week ago, I'm not sure. But that's when I wrote them down, so if your question isn't in here, it's probably either it's already been answered before or it was asked after the 17th. So just bear with me here. These are a lot of questions and it's already going to take up 2 videos, so I couldn't take any more and I'm really sorry about that. But you know I always do a Q&A pretty much every month, so you'll probably be in it next month. So the first question is, can I use white petals for the spell? And the answer to that is no, because white doesn't really give off a color, and the whole point of it is that the flower petals are giving off a color for the potion, so white petals just wouldn't work. The next question is, what can you do with fairy dust other than making potions? And that's a really good question. Basically, you use that, say you have the green aura and you want to make something grow. You would use the green fairy dust to make things grow as you're doing it, you know? It doesn't just happen. You need the fairy dust to do that. So anything that comes with your aura, you're going to perform those things with your fairy dust. Alright, someone brought to my attention that someone by the name of Serena Mermaid Vampire was being cyberbullied by me, Confessions of a Fairy and Fairy for Real, but I just want to say that I've never even heard of this person, and it's a rumor and it's not true, and I feel sorry for this person, but if I could get any more information on the subject, just let me know, because I don't like people making things up like that. So yeah, it's not true. The next question is there an aging spell to make you age up or age down? And people have tried to make those spells, but it's really not likely that it's going to be made possible, because it's just messing with time-space continuum, and that's not something that's really capable of doing, especially people that aren't scientists and don't know the science behind time-space continuum. So no, there's no spell. What happens if my glitter gets chunky when making fairy dust? You'll just have to break it up and kind of like grind it a little bit, and it should be fine. And by the way, I have all the questions written right here, so if you see my pen, it's because I'm just going to cross them out as I go. I've done that the last Q&A and it works really well. So yeah, you just try to break it up, and if not, you might have to do it all over again. It's not that big of a deal. Can you do your other spells if you're not a fairy, like the friendship spell, the getting better grades in school, or focusing better in school spell? And yes, you can. You don't have to be a fairy for those spells. The only spells you do have to be a fairy for are the ones that are intended for fairies. Do you have to believe in fairies to do the fairy spell? Yes, you do. That's the whole point of it. You have to believe in fairies 100% and that you can be one. For the focusing better in school spell, do I have to make new cards each year, or can I use the same cards? And the answer to that is you'll probably have to make new cards each year, because it's always going to be a different subject and a different grade and a different period that you have and all that kind of stuff. So it is going to be different because it's going to be that specific subject, and it changes each year, and your grade changes each year. So yes, you will have to make new cards. Can you do the fairy spell again and make more fairy vlogs? And the whole reason the fairy spell didn't work is because I was vlogging. So the answer to that is going to be no, because the spell just won't work. How do you find which aura goes best with your personality? And really, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does if you want an aura that's pertaining to your personality. Mostly how I would go by it is to watch all of my aura videos and all my friends' aura videos, and just kind of listen to the characteristics of those auras and see which defines you the most. That would be my best advice. The next question is, why do you use soap in some of your potions? And I've mentioned this before. If you want to find my video on why each ingredient is used, but basically soap is a symbol for cleanliness and cleansing, and fairies have very clean souls, very clean vibe. Everything about them is clean, and that's basically what I explained in the video. So if you want to go check that out, it's on my channel. There's 2 of them. So that explains everything about all the ingredients, not just soap. Next question is, do fairies have eternal youth? And I don't think so, because there are adult fairies, there are younger fairies that age up, so I don't think so. The next question is, why are candles used in some spells? And that's just to kind of open up your soul, and to just like make the trusting environment, because candles are very calming and relaxing, and you need to be very calm and relaxed for some of these spells to work. So that's basically what they're there for. They're not necessary per se, but they're definitely worth using in the spells. The next question is, can you do a spell to change your hair color? And I could try to, but I've tried in the past to do something similar to that, and it wasn't really working. So I'll have to go and double check on that and see if I can do it, and I'll get back to you guys. The next question is, can you become a fairy without a spell? And yes, if you're born a fairy, then obviously there's no spell involved. But other than that, I don't think there's a way to become a fairy, because you do need the spell and potion. Otherwise, how are you going to become a fairy? Does your family know about your YouTube videos? Yes, they do. They're very supportive. They're okay with everything. They double check everything before I post it and send it online. And yeah, they watch all my videos. The next question is, can you be a hybrid, like a mermaid and a fairy, a werewolf and a fairy? And from my knowledge, no, you cannot, because they kind of contradict each other in a lot of ways. Like if you're a mermaid, you have to be in water for that to work, but most fairies can't breathe underwater, so it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of each spell. Do you need specific flower petals for your spells? Do they have to be rose petals, tulip petals? And the answer for that is no, there's no specific flower petal that you'll need. Rose petals are recommended because the color comes off the best, but it doesn't matter what kind of colors you use. The next question is where to get dead flower petals, and anywhere that flowers grow, you just, their petals can shed or the flowers might die, and you can grab those, and those will be dead flower petals. Or if you have a flower at home and you just don't, because mine, I always forget to put them in water when I get them, so they end up dying, especially my corsages from like prom and stuff. So that's just where I get my dead flower petals.